Hello, hello, Familia. Welcome. My name is MagdalineJanet. If you are new, welcome to the fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because we're always here having a good time. And come visit me on TikTok and Insta because I'm there daily. And of course, welcome back to my oldies but goodies. So you guys, lately I feel like I've been talking about color correcting a lot more. I color correct my under eyes pretty often, and I think today is a perfect day to talk about color correcting, how it works, how you do it with these, and also I'm gonna be using the LA Girl color correctors as well to explain to you what they do. Before we get started, let me give you some quick info about these. The new e.l.f. Camo color correctors come in 5 shades. They retail for $4. I have the shade peach and yellow. These are long wearing hydrating camo color correctors that come in a complementary shade to address all skin discoloration concerns. They are full coverage with the satin finish. Key ingredients is hyaluronic acid and rose flower water. I purchased mine at Ulta. So we first want to start with the color wheel. I'm gonna put a picture here and what it does. When you look at the color wheel, the opposite color is going to correct it. For example, my under eyes are purples and like blue discoloration. So yellow typically wipes that out. It corrects that darkness. And let me show you. One of my favorite color correctors that I always find myself just grabbing are these $4, $2, I think they're $4 or $2, LA Girl color correctors. And the reason why I like them is because they're super pigmented. I find that a lot of color correctors that brands create are very thin. That's great and all because you're gonna layer on concealer, but we need, you know, a little pigment in there, you know? So let's see how this one is. It's sheer, but I think we could do a little something with it. Is start with here, this yellow. Let it sit per the usual. I like the texture. So this already is a good one. It's not as thick as the LA Girl, but it's definitely pigmented and it's not too wet. That's something else that I look for in color correctors is that I can't speak today, that they are not too wet because too wet can shear out very quickly. So now I'm going to get my brush. You can get a sponge, your finger, and we're going to start color correcting. Also, this could be a little bit too light for someone with a deeper complexion, which is why I typically use the dark yellow. I like it better, but this light yellow is kind of close to the e.l.f. one. You see this color correcting? I'm gonna grab my finger and blend this out. To mention, I added the yellow in the inner corner because that is where the darkest discoloration is. Now, when it comes to peach correctors, that usually corrects like greens and blues. I don't have that, but we'll use it for this eye to show you. This is a peach color corrector. You can also use more of a pink color corrector because this is, yeah, more on the pink side. You see that? This also can be used like a concealer because of the tone. You see how it kind of just blends into my hand? Okay, get a good amount. Okay, I like this shade. And the way you know that like a color corrector is good also is if it layers well. Concealer layers on top well. And this one, you can see the difference in color correcting. Let me blend out. You see how this is more of a concealer slash corrector? This is more just color correcting. Too light, so we need a concealer. But I just want you to see the differences. Talking about differences, hold on, let me add a little bit more of the yellow. And this one, I think is just too light. I need a darker yellow, but we'll work with what we got. Okay, there we go. You see, I was able to build it up and we're good to go. With the pink, you can still see the darkness. So let's go in here really quick. My nose is red, oh my God. A lot of times color correcting is talked about in the under eye area, but you can also color correct your foundation. So for example, as we know, the NYX Blur foundation is bomb, but these colors are not. So I am in the shade 11. This is a medium neutral. This is very warm. And look, we can see how warm it is, right? You can do two things with this one. If it's too dark, you can add white to lighten it. If it's too warm as it is, you can add blue to cool it down. So blue is for cool. So let's cool it down first. I'm gonna add a little bit. You wanna make sure you don't add too much because then it could cool it down so much it looks gray. That has happened to me. So it's kind of like an experiment and you wanna just test out little patches. So this is a little bit too cool. I think I added too much. So let's add a little bit back in. So then look, You see this color versus the original color that is. One thing about this blue corrector or blue correctors in general, they may darken up the foundation. So beware about that. So here is the color corrected one. Here is the original one. Let me swatch. Color corrected. And here is the original. You see that difference? Like it's a solid difference. You see how this color, the neutralized color, is melting into my neck? That's what we want. I'm gonna use this part of my hand. Not only is it warm, but it's a little bit, it looks dark, but it's not as dark. But let's lighten it up. Let's get a little bit of the white. The white also, if you use too much, it will lighten it too much. And I've actually have gotten questions about this. You can also, hold on, there's another way to do this too. So you see, when we mix, it will lighten it, but it's still warm. Here, let me show you. Let me show you the swatch right next to the one. So you see now, wow, this swatch is funky. You see how it's lighter now than that original color? It's lighter than our neutralized color. So you see the differences? So that's what these can do. So this is from LA Girl. This retails for like $10 at Ulta. But if you don't have this, LA Girl has a white concealer. You can use that. I do have that. Or you can always use a lighter concealer. Like if you have a concealer that's way too light and your foundation's too dark, mix those and you will get this sort of situation. So, ooh, okay. Let's remove this a little bit. Okay, so now that the yellow and peach color corrector have been on, oh wow, they look good. e.l.f. does have a blue one. I'll put the picture up there. Theirs cheaper also. It's $4, so you can use that one if you don't have this. I'm gonna take my little palette off. So I'm gonna use this just because we're doing that. Yeah, okay. Let's speed it up. Just kidding, I'm back. Another thing I want to mention, these correctors don't change the texture of the foundation. That is very, very important. I was always apprehensive about doing color correcting and I was very specific about getting my exact shade, but these two do not change the texture, which is like, you still get the same foundation. It's just your customized shade, you know? Okay, let's redo. Oh my gosh, I'm back. I'm back one more time. Looking at this corrector, you guys, it's not creasing and it dries down, but without like drying out your under eyes. Not bad. You see that hydration still? Yeah, I think the yellow is my fave. For real now? Let's redo. All right, Familia, full face and everything. I was gonna do a wear test, but I don't think that's needed because we saw these work well. Once the under eyes are set, you're pretty good to go, especially the under eyes. The skin, you know, oils up, we get greasy, we get oily and all that stuff. But let's talk about color correcting some more. What I love about especially these LA Girl ones is that they don't change the texture of the foundation. So you will still have this blurring full coverage foundation. The color will just be updated. So keep in mind, I've been using these for about a year now and I really love them. I really like these. I like the thin formula. They are very pigmented and hydrating too, and they do have a dry down time. They work the best if you let it dry down and then maybe set it slightly, because they do dry down. They don't remain that hydrating slippery mess that can happen. So these are great. They're not as pigmented as my LA Girl, but they're definitely up there, and I like the texture that is thin because that's important. You layer on either concealer or foundation. So I think this is it. I hope this video was helpful, and I really hope I was able to answer any color correcting questions that you have. If you have any questions, please let me know. You guys know I'm always chit-chatting in the comments. Let me make sure. The color wheel. Yeah. And another thing about the color wheel, that's a good example that you can just Google, and if you don't know what color your under eyes are or what other color could color correct it, look at that color wheel and then it'll help you know what colors. Because I forget a lot of the time, and I always have to refer back like, oh wait, what colors was what? But now I know that yellow is my jam, and I do think yellow color corrected a little bit better than the peach. Low key, I messed up this whole eye. I had to redo it completely without taking the rest of my face off. So if this looks a little janky, it's because it is. I messed up. Let's go in front of the window so you guys can see the under eyes really quick. Oh, you guys. Oh, look at this light. We got some good light here. You see in daylight, the under eyes look really good, and the shade of the foundation looks bomb. It's like legit my shade. You see, this is the yellow color corrector. You don't see the darkness peeking through. Here with the peach, you see it a little bit. Granted, I did mess up, and this was kind of the area I messed up in, but I saw that the peach wasn't really color correcting because it wasn't, my under eye darkness is not the colors that the peach corrects. It's what the yellow corrects, which is, I like that we can see it in daylight, like it's bomb. So the skin looks great. And yeah, I just wanted to show you in daylight. And okay, back to the outro. I will also have every single product I use linked down below. I kind of did like a drugstore makeup look because I'm like, why not? Let's just keep it at the drugstore. And what was it? Except for my lip. Well, my lip is half drugstore. It's Standing Ovation from e.l.f. and then Bare Minerals Calming Cocoa. But you know, we could use a NYX lip liner. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me and spending a little bit of your day with me. Thank you for all the love you guys always show me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button right there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.